Hello everybody, welcome to another live stream with Mint Markets. Let's jump right into the analysis. Unfortunately, we already missed a move I would have liked to take. We had a run of sell-side liquidity after 9:30, below the 8:30 price and the midnight opening price. And the bias is still bullish. We don't try to catch a high or a low. And so far it just ran off before I started my stream. That's a pity because I would have loved to take a long and a discount down here. But that's what it is. Annoys me very much, but I can change it. I would have liked to trade this in my live stream, but that's what it is with trading. Sometimes you miss some setups, sometimes you get them. Here we have a very nice fair value gap annotated here at 951. And we have taken out the daily high, previous high already. So we have to see now what we get, if we still get a good entry that's worth taking or not. Let's check the economic calendar. We have Tuesday the 20th and we have no news today. So nothing here in terms. So we're just going to trade pure price here and going to focus on the macro times today, I guess. We had a market structure shift here. And let's see if we maybe want to get a retracement, something that is worth taking. However, I also don't want to buy in a big premium again and don't want to catch the high and then trade right into a retracement. TT, hello, welcome back. Happy to have you back, and everybody watching, let me know if you are watching. And yeah, unfortunately, as I already said, the move I would have liked to take already unfolded. A heck of a day. It's gonna be a heck of a day, lol. Hi Abdul, welcome to my stream again. And the week started good yesterday, yes. And let's hope it continues good. Unfortunately, the setup I wanted to, I'm a little bit annoyed already because the setup I wanted to take in the Silver Bullet session already unfolded. We had a nice fair value gap here and we took already the daily high here. And I feel like we are in a big premium now again, and it can go another 100 handles today, but to take an entry here is quite risky. So not ideal for trading, because if I enter now I could get in a big retracement or get chopped up in a, could be chopped up in a seek and destroy day. So yeah, kind of not ideal to start, in my opinion. and we see a big retracement so far of the high. We have a 5-minute breaker here, fair value gap here. I'm not very comfortable going long here, even if this might be the entry and it goes up all day again. So let's see what we get. We have a 15-minute fair value gap down here below. We have a breaker here. We have market structure shift here. We have a market structure shift here. And I'm weighing out whether it's a good idea to take a long here or if I will run right into a reversal if I do so. And I would have preferred to enter before we take out the liquidity here. Since we've taken out the liquidity here, I don't like it. And I would like, let's see this fair value gap. Let's see if it supports price. So far it's good if we do not close here. If we close above, that's good. Besides that, I don't see anything that is really interesting as a premium discount level here. Another fair value gaps here on the 1 minute. And I'm going to observe price. I'm not taking along here. I want to see more information. Let's see. I feel like if it's going to be like more times like this, I'm probably really going to change the times, because I'm already so pissed that every time the setups I want to take are forming in the morning before I start streaming. And I kind of like, I start really getting annoyed by that. So if it continues going like this, I'm going to change the times. Yeah, let's see. Now we just wait. Let me mute my computer. And that's why I'm not quite very aggressive with taking a long here now. This is not a breaker in my opinion, because I feel like, oh, it actually is, sorry. It actually is. We have a high, low, low, high, lower low, and a market structure shift. So I think we have to view this one as a breaker here. If I'm reading it correct, this is the last up close candle, the last body. This one is higher, but the body is inside this candle, so we have to take this one. This is actually a breaker. This green candle at 3:15 in my opinion. And we have to weigh out now whether we want to take a long in this breaker or not. So first of all, I want to see this value gap here on the 5-minute chart respected. And second, I want to see the breaker being respected, the mean threshold here ideally. Besides that, there is nothing that interests me. We have a lower fair value gap here, so we could come into that one, but I think that would be a deep discount here to the 8:30 price or even the midnight opening price. But let's watch it. So far, we closed exactly at the low. That's not very bullish. We wicked through the 5-minute fair value gap. That's okay. We can allow for that. However, we should ideally close above the fair value gap high here, in my opinion. And we should also respect the mean threshold of this 15-minute breaker here. So the mean threshold is approximately here. So it would be also good if we close above here. So basically above the low of the fair value gap on the 15-minute chart and lower as well. So we have a lower fair value gap here, a lower fair value gap here as well. Let me check that one. 1 minute here. We already used that one. So my problem is I don't want to run into a market maker sell model here, since we've taken out the high here. The higher time frame, in my opinion, is still bullish, but we have an order block here on the daily chart. This one, 3 candles here. If we measure the bodies here on the daily chart, then the mean threshold, the midpoint, is approximately 5677. So that's my potential upside target as far as it can go in my opinion. It can go in my opinion. We have a gap here. I will draw it up here now. We have a gap here, and we have the new week opening gap here, the blue lines here you can see. And we have a volume imbalance here as well. So a couple of levels of interest in my opinion. So I think we can go there at least to take out this candle's high and to the 5666 I think is a likely target on the upside. So I'm watching that one. And let's see if we do get a entry, a good entry to the upside. So my session bias still bullish. And yeah, that's what I'm watching. That's why I didn't want to go long here. We are now at the premium low of the breaker. Let's see if we respect that. We did not respect the fair value gap here, the 5-minute one from 950. I think it's possible that we have a seek and destroy day, or that we just run liquidity and come deep down. However, on the other hand, we have here the low from 930, and we have taken out a lot of sell side liquidity here, here, here. We went back into this new day opening gap, the yellow one. So I think if we have a nice bullish up day, it would not be ideal if we go much lower and take out this low. That's not what I want to see, ideally. So now we are in the fair value gap here from 930, and we are dropping. And that was exactly what I was kind of afraid of, and that's why I did not want to go long here. Now we are more in kind of a discount, so now we are below the 830 price and close to the 830 price. Sorry, 830 price, yeah, and close to the midnight opening price. So now we are closer to discount again. So now here in these areas, it would be better or more interesting to buy here. However, let's see if we have still the likelihood of a bullish day here and if we would get a setup here. Now we took another the low from 930 again, and I want to see if we trade off that low again, if we maybe get the market structure shift, if we trade energetic away from that, or if we break through this yellow new day opening gap, and if we kind of trade through and get resistance and go lower, maybe back to this new week opening gap 5, 6, 15. So far, I'm not interested to take a long right away. However, the levels now are much better. So in this area, if I would take a long, I'd feel much better to take a long now. So let's stick to the lower time frames and see if we might get a market structure shift here to the upside again. That would be ideal. That's what I would like to see. That would fit my narrative. And that would also allow me to take a trade. We have taken out liquidity. If we would get the market structure shift with a fair value gap, that would be nice. That would be a reasonable area to take along in a discount, and my trade plan would allow me to take a low here. And so far, what I'm looking at is the mean threshold of this wick here on the 15-minute chart. Let's see if we respect the midpoint. Probably not. And I'm very happy right now that I didn't take a long. That I stick to my rules, and my rules here, my model prevented me from a loss here, which is good, because the rules say I need to be in a discount, and we were not in a discount. And you see what happens. We took out buy side liquidity. If I wanted to chase here for a continuation, I would have got wrecked here. So it's good to have models and to apply them and stick to them. And even if I felt like the impulsiveness to trade, because I was like pissed that I didn't get the up move I wanted to trade, but I still was not reacting emotionally, which helped me here to prevent a loss by going long here. I could have easily talked myself into a trade here, taking a long. and we have what I was kind of fearing, a market maker sell model. What I was fearing, taking a long. That's why I did not engage, and we got the market maker sell model here delivered perfectly. And what I'm interested in now is to see if we go lower and find the strength to approach this new week opening gap here at 5,615 about, or if we have a bottom here and a market structure shift to the upside again and try to make another higher high. So we broke, obviously we went through the midpoint of this wick here, so that's a bearish indication. So that tells me Abdul, you're writing, you're out, you took the exact fair value gap I talked about. Okay. I'm sorry for that. At least you're out and you use the stop loss, I guess. Yeah, I'm sorry that um, yeah, you were not able to avoid that. Yeah, that was exactly what I'm talking about and why I did not engage here. And that's why this premium discount really helps. So I could have taken a short above here, above the 8:30 open and above the midnight open. But so far I'm not interested. And also, if even in hindsight, there is not a real setup, even on the 1 minute. There is not a real setup. And so far I have to, even if it's not fun and not sexy, I have to stay on the sideline so far. I cannot short here. I mean, I could technically short here, but I don't want to short in a, we are too much in a discount now in my opinion, so I don't want to short here. And I'm only interested to take a long here at this discount area. So I will see if we get a bullish setup here, and if we don't, I'm sitting still, and if it goes lower, I don't care, I can live with it, but I'm not chasing price here. And I think since we have seen the wick here broken, so we traded through that, I think that is for me an indication we have closed below this wick here. That's an indication that we are in fact going lower, but just going lower is not a trade setup for me. Also, there was not an actual trade setup for me. We can see here we have an order block, so we had an order block here. We closed below the order block. We went back into the order block, and we had a reaction lower so far, making a new low here. So the order block so far confirms weakness on the S&P, and again, I think 5,615 is reasonable if we continue with weakness here. However, I will observe price going lower and see if any kind of bullish market structure shift forms that gives me the opportunity to take a long at some point at these levels here. So what are you writing up to? Easy 1 to 3 caught man. This is getting too easy for me, or might be there is some easy 1, 2, 3 caught, man. This is getting too easy for me, or might be there is some chance in my execution confidence. And I think it's because of your live streams. Okay, cool. I'm happy. So if I get you right, we have 1, 2, 3 statistics. So 1 loss, 3 wins, and and you are still profitable overall. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy if you have a confidence, and I'm happy if my live stream helps to give you some confidence or gives you some insights which support your ideas you already maybe have. Sometimes it's also sometimes maybe you have already your own idea, and maybe if I say the same thing, it gives you some more confidence. So I'm happy that my live stream helps. I'm very glad. However, in the end, you are responsible for all your results, and if you do a win, it's you earn all the credits, and it was your success, not mine. And same, of course, applies to the losers. In the end, you push the button, you decide which trade you take, and I might be wrong as well. So you earn your success and you earn your failure, but I'm happy, and that's exactly the reason why I'm doing this. Um, I'm very, very glad if it helps anybody watching the live stream in which way ever. And yeah, some days you win, some days you lose. It's not over until you don't until you give up. So it's just a failure if you quit. You can win and lose several times, but it's just a failure if you stop. So we keep going. And we will try to win more often than we lose. All right, so far we had another run up here, again into the order block, slightly into the body here. Could not make a lower low so far, no fair value gap here. So far, let me see, we have an inversion fair value gap here, so we kind of have to consider that one as well. So let me see, yeah, we traded into the inversion fair value gap. So this one here I view as inversion fair value gap, since it's the last fair value gap, the first fair value gap from the up move. We broke the structure here, and we can also see that we have a reaction here, go lower, took out the low, went up there again, go lower, equal lows here. So let's see if we stay heavy here. However, not a trade for me. I don't want to shorten this discount here. I feel like I want to take more trades, or I feel like a little bit the impulse to do more, but it's not really worth it. Like, it's better to stay out and take a loss in the end. Rule number 1 is to preserve your equity. So far, we also have a market structure shift to the downside. We have to notice that one as well. We have a high, a low, a higher high, and we broke through that. So we have a potential market structure shift here. And I mean, we also have to consider that we have moved up a lot so far. We had not a single down day so far. So we really, at some point, we have to expect a down day as well, and we have to expect some kind of retracement at some point. So it's not really shocking or super surprising if we would have a down day. I'm still sticking with the bias, but with the over longer term bias. But yeah, we should not be surprised if we get some lower prices here at some point. However, so far I'm not trusting it too much. Again, here we have this inversion fair value gap. So far we are consolidating, trading up, having a small consolidation here, second time into the inversion fair value gap. So let's see if that inversion fair value gap can send price lower. There was not a real setup here. We had not a real market structure shift, maybe on the lower 1 minute chart here, maybe on the 30 or 15-second here, that was a market structure shift. And then we have the fair value gap here, but we just have the same high. So it didn't tap into the fair value gap here. So that was, even in hindsight, not a setup I would have taken or I would have got filled. We dropped. We had a run up till 10 a.m. and then took out the buy side liquidity and dropped, took out sell side liquidity 9:30 low. And what I want to do here now is I want to go to regular trading hours. And that's funny. Cannot regular trading hours. I cannot see the gap here. Oh, it's actually very small. So what I'm looking at is the opening range. What I was looking for is the opening range gap here. And it's very small today, but it's here. So we have the close from Monday, 6:14, 4:14, and then we have the open today at 9:30. So I'm going to mark that one here, and it's going to be a very small gap here. I will draw it out. Usually I mark it on the 5-minute chart. It's the same, of course, here, but it's easier to track in time here. So that is our opening range gap here. We are inside the opening gap here at the very moment. And what I also want to annotate here, except for our inversion fair value gap here, which was traded to a third time now. So watch this inversion fair value gap here at 9:30. And look at this. One trade into it, second time trade into it, and a third time trading into it. So if this really is a resistance level to the downside, it should start moving, in my opinion. Not that I want it to move, but just for tape reading purposes here. I'm going to remove the fair value gap here. And maybe now it starts moving. Would would be interesting to see. I'm observing that. I'm observing. Again, not taking a short here, looking for longs preferably, but not without confirmation that I'm on the right side. And yeah, I was about to mark the opening range here, which is the lowest low from 930. Just the low from 930 here. Let's mark it on the 1 minute chart here. So our opening range is from here. I wanted to duplicate it, and our opening range is actually, this is the high of the opening range. So we mark this opening range high. And this is also so far the high of the day and the session, and then we have the low here, which is our opening range low. This is our discount level here. And this is our premium level here. Also can be also very influential here. And so far we're still waiting. So far still consolidating here, and does not really show us if it wants to really go lower from here, or if we might see a reversal. So far we still need to wait. What we can do in the meantime is compare the Nasdaq and see what we got here. So we have no divergence here. So both indices took out the low from 930 here. So the indices agree, both looking weak so far. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. What did I do now? Okay. No idea what I did to make the window disappear. Doesn't matter. However, we can see that both indices are weak, both made a lower low here, so not a divergence confirmation so far. And look at the Nasdaq is at a very balanced price range here, so no need to come up here except for a reversal. So Nasdaq looks weak as well. Here fair value gap traded into it, lower so far, so looks weak so far. So at the moment the indices do look weak and not really a sign of a reversal. So I think at the present it is still more likely that we will see lower prices in the indices, in my opinion. And I have already outlined you where I'm looking at for S&P. So for S&P we are looking at 5,615, and we have a market structure shift now. Yes, Abdul, you are 100% correct. We would need a market structure shift with displacement to the upside and a fair value gap to enter along. I'm agreeing with you 100%. So that's the only scenario I would enter along here today. And again, I think that as outlined already, I think the likelihood that we're going lower is there. So I think that's the more probable scenario. And so far we see it confirmed. However, I don't want to take a short here. I don't want to take a short here because we are on a daily session. We are already in a discount count. We're below the opening, the new day opening gap, below the midnight opening price, below the 8:30 opening price. So the ideal short would be somewhere above here. And yeah, since we are not at that level, and so far we see that this inversion fair value gap um, was a resistance point, was very nice. We can see that. We traded through it, into it 1, 2, 3 times, consolidated a little bit, and now we're going lower. So very nice price delivery here, even though I'm not trading it. At least we got a correct, we had a, in my opinion, very accurate analysis today, and so far a good tape reading session. And we will leave the entries for the perfect setup. And Abdul, because you asked me yesterday about the bias, so that's also session. That's also how I determine the session bias, right? So you can I'm telling you my ways how I outweigh, how I changed my mind from a bullish bias initially, which I told you that I want to be long. I would have liked to be long until we take out the buy side liquidity here, and after I'm more careful. So long I was because we had on the higher time frame we had a huge up move so far. So the higher time frame bias is bullish. And then what made me long as well initially was that we were in a discount. We had support here in the new day opening gap, and we were in a discount initially from the opening price and the 8:30 opening price. We had relative equal highs here. So we had here a high, a lower high. So we had relative equal highs here. We had a previous day's high here, and we were overall bullish on the higher time frame. So all these factors together um, up to, I'm not sure if I understand you right. You say you have gotten 1 to 5. So you wish you would have, to understand you correctly, you would have liked to take a short here and got. Oh, you're still in the trade? I'm not sure if I. The bias, yeah, okay, cool. So I'm not sure if I get you right. Are you still in a trade, Abdul? Are you still in a long trade or in a short trade? And yeah, that was the bullish bias. And since we broke the levels here, we took out the liquidity. We were above the price here. and we traded through this new day opening gap and through the opening range gap now, and the inversion fair value gap. And also I'm outweighing like where's the largest concentration of gaps here. So if I look at the chart, I mean, we have a gap up here, but we have a lot of gaps down. New day opening gaps, we have new week opening gap here, 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 here. So the concentration of gaps is to the downside. And all these factors in mind made me change my session bias after this drop here. No, I'm saying that I closed my trade at, okay, 1, 2, 3, but right now it is still going down, lol. It's approximately 1.7 if I was still in the trade, but I closed at 1.3. All right, okay, cool. So you had a winning short trade, so I misunderstood you wrong here. Nice, but yeah, don't worry, like it's okay. Sometimes if you have to grow into the holding the trades. I have the same issue sometimes, but 1 to 3 is not bad, so that's good. In my opinion, you should be happy and not beat yourself up. So you should log the experience positive. You should write in your journal that you had a successful 1 to 3 trade, and not beating yourself up about you could have made more money. You can always make more money, you know. You will never be 100% happy. Like you will always make a pip more, or it drops more than you expected. But you want to give yourself a positive memory to the trade, and want to encourage yourself. So you should, yeah. And it's, as you say, it's still better than nothing. And if you got a good trade, you need to log that positively and be happy, and don't beat yourself up about you could have made more, because you can always make more. You can always get a more moves, more, you will always miss the opportunity. So you should not make yourself crazy about that. And I have the same issue sometimes, you know, like you have a target, and like yesterday, for example, like yesterday the long trader took up till here in the live session. I took it, like we can go back to that one. The long trade here. The long trade we took here, and I took profits above the high here, and look how much it ran. It ran like 38 handles more approximately. So if I could be angry all day that I didn't hold the trade, but you have to grow into that as well. The better you get, the more experienced you get, the easier it will be to long the trades. The easier it will be to hold the trades longer. And I also close sometimes. I really want to close it. I cannot stand the pressure anymore, and then I'm like closing it, and then it goes more further than expected. But that's normal, and you gotta just work on that, and you will never get it perfect. So we gotta live with that as traders, I think. And I'm very happy that we got the target hit here now. So as I outlined here in the live session in front of you, we got the target hit here. So we have this new week opening gap, 6.5615, and we hit that. So nice tape reading success here. Not a successful trade, but a successful analysis. And I can be also mad now and say, I wish I could have traded it, but it's okay. It didn't, the entry didn't fit my model, and that's why I didn't enter it. And it's okay, even if I knew that it's going there. Right. And now we actually have a market structure shift here. So we reached into this new week opening gap. We have to be kind of careful because we have a fair value gap here. But so far, on the 1 minute, we had a market structure shift here, even though it's not very convincing. So we could prepare for the possibility that we are going higher here. And I will enter here. So I'm taking, I didn't get the perfect entry here, but I'm seeing the market structure shift here. We traded through it. Actually, it did not touch the fair value gap, so actually I saw that one wrong. However, I think I gotta live with that entry now. Was not the perfect entry, but I will stick with it. And stop will be here. And I will go for oh, actually let me look. Yeah, I will go for this high here at max. So far we had equal lows here, so it didn't actually get into the actual gap here, which would be, in theory, that's good. It's good if it's even too strong to trade into the gap, and if it kind of stays open. So if it stays like this, that's actually very good for the trade. Let's see. We are in the macro window from 10:10 to 11:10. So we took out a low here, another 15-minute low here basically. So we will see if that market structure holds or not. So it would be good if it doesn't come back here deep. If it doesn't close as deep, it would be good if it stays here and stays, if it stays strong here. We have the fair value gap here. It would be also good if it gets through this fair value gap here and trade above it. So this can act as support. So I want to see some displacement here. And in a perfect world, this fair value gap is staying open. And we will see. We'll see if we can get back up into this new day opening gap here. And we should see some bullish candle closes here. And yeah, I agree, short-term success should not distract your long-term goals. One trade is not deciding your career. The stop loss is about 7. It's about 7 handles here. And we want to see it trade through here energetically. So far, so good. And we want to see this fair value gap left open in a perfect world. And we have some buy side liquidity above here. People who were short have traded the stops above here. We have relative equal highs here as well. We have another high here. So yeah, we will see. If I'm right. We have a potential bullish order block here. So it should hold price above in a perfect world. So it would be really nice if we just stay strong here and go higher. And again, we are in the macro windows, in the macro window from 10:50 to 11:10. So this should ideally give price some speed here. So far, it's favorable that we closed above this fair value gap here on the 5-minute. However, I don't want to see a deep retracement like this. That's not so good. That is not good. Okay. I don't like this one. That's not ideal. Not what I want to see. Now I would like immediately move up again. I don't want to close. I don't want to close. See a close below here. All right. Not good. Don't like it. All right. That's not very favorable for the trade. It's not what I want to see. We went back into the fair value gap here. but that's not good. That's not ideal. No, that's not good. Okay, I think I will get stopped out here. I'm not closing the trade immediately, but yeah, this doesn't look good. Not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see it stay strong here. It closed above the low here, but it fell out of bed, disrespected the order block, so that's really not good. And I will take 3 contracts off here. Oh, shit. Made a mistake. Made a mistake here. Okay. Maybe that was stupid by me now. Maybe that was a real stupid move now. Closed too early probably. Got scared out by the... Scared myself out. That was not ideal. Should have maybe waited a little bit longer. Did not wait for the close here. However, so far the reaction is still not ideal. But yeah, so far we are basically at the midpoint here. Yeah. Could have closed here break even. Bad luck. Alrighty. Looks like a loss. I think I will really start trade outside these live streams now. I didn't want to do it, but every time I see a setup outside the live stream, I'm not taking it because I only want to take setups when I stream. And always when I live stream, it's not ideal. At least the last week. So we have closed here so far around the midpoint of the gap. So far still everything intact, but it's not ideal. It's not what I want to see. I think it's still likely that I will get stopped out here. Most likely a stop. And I'm not coming off the place here. Really hard for me at the moment. Had a much better performance outside the live streams when I took the trades all day. Not only in this stupid time window, which is supposed to be the best time window. Alright. Whatever. Yeah, I don't think that the setup is still high probability. up till, yeah, it's still OTE, but might still happen. But so far the reaction is not ideal. We should have see much uh, more movement to the upside. So I'm not very confident about the trade anymore. I will close it. I will take the stop out on the last portion. Unfortunately, I added some more position by accident. However, we will see. Maybe it goes my target, but I'm not very confident. I would not take the trade anymore if I would not be in a trade right now. All right. All right. So far, another attempt higher. Closed already. Filled in the gap completely. Closed below the midpoint of the gap. But I will give the trade some more time and another chance to run here. But it's not ideal. Ideal would be if it would not have come back down in here or just a little bit and then went higher from here. So yeah, still think it's likely being a stop out here. So far we have 6 more minutes in the full hour macro left. 5 minutes until it's 11:10 and we can wait a little bit more and see if it goes, if it runs. But again, I think it doesn't look very good. Still indecisive. Didn't touch the midpoint, touched the upper quarter, which is actually a sign that it's strong. But the retracement here is not good. Like, this is too much of a retracement in my opinion. Doesn't mean it's still performing, but not ideal in my opinion. And I think if we get to break even, I will close the trade. I was too slow, too slow. Had the chance to close it at break even. Too slow, and now we've got the full stop out. Nice. All right, so we can prepare for the full stop out now. I will take one off now. And with the rest, I will just leave it. So another partial taken off here. And the rest I will leave. All right, 2 minutes in the last hour macro. So we will see. And before I close the stream, if you like the kind of streams I'm doing, if you like me to do more streams with analysis and live trades, would be cool if you leave the video a thumbs up. And if you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so far, and that would be a motivation for me to keep going. And yeah, I will close in 2 minutes. I will leave the trade on, and we will see tomorrow what happened with it. We will find out. I will do another live stream tomorrow at 10 o'clock New York time again. Maybe start 5 minutes early. So 9:55 approximately. All right, so 1 more minute and then I will close the stream. All right, I think that will be it. I will close the stream. I will leave the trade on and we will see tomorrow what it did. I wish you all the best wherever you are in the world and see you tomorrow if you like.